Here to break down the offense with us, offensive coordinator Ed Warinner. Coach, your role in particular is a little bit different this year, working with the tight ends in addition to being up high during the games, overseeing the entire offense. How does that change work for you?
Well, the one thing when you have the offensive line, that's a challenging position to coach. You have 5 guys. It's the centerpiece of our offense since we've been here. So we have to, I had to focus solely on that last year. Now I get to coach one player, have my eyes more in the skill positions, more involvement in the passing game. The tight ends are involved in both the run and pass game, so I can be both places when I want to be. And it just gives me a little more freedom and a little more time to have the overall big picture. So it's been a great transition.
This isn't that unusual in college football, but you have a blend of youth and experience on offense. You look at JT, he's a veteran quarterback. He could probably handle a bunch of audibles. He could probably handle a bunch of things. And yet the rest of the offensive guys have less experience. So how do you blend how much you can do? Do you base it on the veteran quarterback or the inexperience of the rest of the group?
And that's our challenge, because I always look at our install and say, we're probably ready for more at quarterback and ready for more at the skill positions, but are we ready to go further in the install with our offensive line? Because the minute you overwhelm those guys and it falls apart up front, you're going to struggle on offense. So we're managing that by trying to keep things simple up front, but having some diversity out on the outside. And so that's the challenge we have. And we just have to see how we come along as the offensive line comes along. But a couple of those players that are young, that have been around, they just haven't played, but they understand the system.
And you were just alluding to those guys up front, some of the younger guys that haven't played. How are you seeing that group come together right now?
I like where it's at. I really like Jamarco Jones, stepping in and taking over at left tackle for Taylor Decker. He's going to be a really good player for us. At right tackle, Isaiah Prince is kind of holding that down, and he's a young player but very talented. Inside we got Pat Elfline and Billy Price, who are all Big Ten type performers. So we're looking to figure out who that other piece is going to be and continue to just develop that group and get some depth there. But I think it's headed in the right direction, and I think we'll be solid up front.
What have you seen from Dwayne Hoskins early in camp?
Wow, he has a tremendous release. He understands the passing game, great vision, anticipation, big-time arm, very cool customer back there. So he gives you a throwing threat that it's exciting. He's fun to be around.
You always need depth at the running back position. Looks
Correct.
like Mike Weber is going to be the lead guy right now. Who are some guys that are going to be able to step in and also be able to contribute?
Yeah, that's one of our challenges here in camp is to develop that position. We lost the best back in the country. Mike Weber is the guy that we recruited to replace him. But, you can't have one back.
Right.
And so we're looking at some other pieces. Curtis Samuel came here as a guy that played some running back. We moved him out into a slot. Curtis is going to get some touches. Dontre Wilson in the past has gotten some touches at tailback. And then we have some young tailbacks, that we're looking at, Antonio Williams and so forth. So I see it being by committee, that position. I see some power runners. I see some speed runners. So, again, we'll do it by committee and kind of settle in on what their strengths are and try to piece that into the offense, where with Zeke, we had a guy who could do it all, so we didn't have to kind of play to the strengths.
Wide receiver crew, very young, inexperienced, highly recruited guys, and you can see why as you watch them. Who are the players who have emerged in your mind?
Well, the first guy that's exciting to have back is Noah Brown. So we were expecting big things from Noah last year. He went down late in training camp, and we lost him for the season. He's back now, and that's exciting. We have Paris Campbell out there, exciting guy, with a lot of speed, track guy that's a great football player from Akron, St. Vincent, St. Mary's. Who else do we have out there? We've got Johnny Dixon, who has Miami guy, great speed, had some injury problems playing out on the perimeter. Terry McLaurin doing well. So there's quite a few young players. Torrance Gibson out there. So anybody else that stuck out to you? Those 5 guys to me are kind of the guys.
Yeah.
Got some young receivers though that we brought in. Benjamin Victor we like. I think he'll be pretty good too. See where he goes. But they're long and they're fast. And when you talk about Curtis Samuel out there and Dontre Wilson in the slot as well, all of a sudden, you have those kind of guys that can be slots, H-backs. You got the outside receivers. You got some length. You got some speed. Austin Mack is an exciting freshman. I forgot about Austin, and didn't mean to, but I mean, as far as freshmen go, he's elite as a freshman. We see him playing, and we see Michael Jordan, the freshman lineman that we recruited from the state up north. I mean, he's really good. He could be a starter for us up front.
It was such an unusual situation when we were here a year ago at quarterback. Now, obviously, it's J.T. Barrett's team. Where have you seen the greatest growth in him from where he was a year ago?
Just that, he's coming back off an injury and trying to get your job back after Cardell played so well. He wasn't full speed. He wasn't himself yet. He was pushing to try to be that, but it takes time. The injury he had, the reps he missed, and so I think he pressed a little bit. I don't feel like he's pressing now. I feel like he knows that he's running the show. We know he's running the show. Now it's all about getting the rest of the players on the team to play up to their ability, to lead them, to help gain confidence in young players, and he's doing all that. So instead of his focus on trying to get my job and trying to get back to full speed, now his focus on getting his team ready to go, and it is his team.
Offensive coordinator Ed Warinner. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.